Good morning, good evening, my listeners, on our usual weekly programs of Straight Talk. First of all, let me extend season's greetings to each and every one of you. We are now in what is called the Yuletide season, when every family, every individual, every man, woman, and child look forward to enjoying a Merry Christmas. Unfortunately, there are many unfortunate ones who will not be enjoying it in the same way as others do. And as we prepare for the Christmas holidays, we need to remember the unfortunate ones, such as those who, for example, the children of the sugar workers and the sugar workers themselves, who are in a less fortunate situation today. Tomorrow, the 21st of December, 2019, will mark 1 year since the passage of the no confidence motion in the National Assembly. That was a historic occasion. Many of us would have viewed the developments or that particular sitting of the National Assembly on the 21st of December 2018. The government was defeated as a result of a parliamentary motion laid by the opposition in the National Assembly. The government, as a result of the passage of that no confidence motion, fell. In other words, the government was defeated as a result of that no confidence motion. The decent thing the government should have done as a result of the passage of the no confidence motion should have been to resign. But no, they did what could be described as the indecent thing. Instead of resigning, the government chose an escape route, what others might call a get out of jail card, in order to buy time. That was the principal objective in mind that they had. This was a manifestation of the determination of the APNU AFC not to move themselves out from office as a result of the no confidence motion. The battleground that they chose was the courts. They knew, like so many of us, that if a matter is tied up in the courts, it will take an inordinate amount of time for resolutions, rulings, or orders to be passed by the court. And so they took to the courts, the High Court, then the Appeal Court, and then the Caribbean Court of Justice. The rest is history. But the point that I'd like to emphasize here is that the overwhelming majority of Guyanese were anticipating change. And quite justifiably so, precisely because people had already become totally fed up, disgruntled, and disillusioned with this administration. That is the administration of the APNU AFC, having lost many of the social and economic benefits that they were enjoying under the PPPC administration. Nobody in this world likes to lose privileges, benefits, or even money that they've been enjoying over the years. It would mean that when that happens, life becomes much more harder, much more difficult, less money in the pocket to spend. In the meantime, more and more taxes are put on the backs of the Guyanese people. And all this happened in just a matter of 4 to 5 years. And as though to add insult to injury, the administration of David Granger gave themselves some humongous salary increases as if to add insult to injury. Many Guyanese looked at this move with great surprise because it was a marked shift away from the election promises they had made in their slogan, "Time for Change." So people, having witnessed the passage of the no confidence motion, felt that salvation was at last here, and that in the end they would rid themselves of the APNU-AFC administration. The Caribbean Court of Justice, as you know, did not make an order that the government resign. The Constitution, however, was very clear in this respect. What the Caribbean Court of Justice did was to deem the government interim government or a caretaker government. And that is all that they wanted from the court. They then interpreted the ruling of the court in a manner that made them perform and behave as though they would stay in office for the rest of the term. Now, we are one day away from the date when the no confidence motion was passed in the parliament. And I believe it is about time, like now, we must reflect on our experiences over this year, which was indeed a very tumultuous year, having regard to the expectations of the Guyanese people and the actions to stay in office by the APNU-AFC. As we prepare for the new year, 2020, which elections are due in March, we need to reflect on all that has happened vis-a-vis the no confidence motion and how this government sought to thwart the will of the people and of the parliament. As we reflect on this experience, we need to look to the future. But look to the future not with pessimism, look to the future with a high spirit of optimism. That change will indeed be with us. We need to draw on the experiences of the past struggles. We need to draw on the experiences of the struggles of other peoples in other parts of the world who have fought valiantly to bring about change in their respective societies. And they have succeeded because they found that, at least in their country and according to their historical experiences, the battle ought not to be fought only in the courts, especially when you have serious doubts about the outcome of the matter that you have before the courts. What would have been required in that situation was a combination of struggles. Having regard to the fact that the Parliament was no longer a viable alternative, we do not rule out the court as a battleground to fight for the democratic and constitutional rights of the people. But to augment that struggle in the court, what was necessary was mass struggles. That is to say, mobilizing thousands of people to come out on the streets, as they did with the parking meter issue, for example, and as they did prior to 1992, before the October 92 elections. With thousands of people marching on the streets, peacefully demonstrating for their rights, that the parliamentary motion be upheld, irrespective of the outcome of the courts. This would have been, to my mind, the best way to approach the struggle for victory. And so when we reflect and when we draw experiences of the struggle that people in other countries have waged in order to win the battle, it is necessary that we prepare ourselves in 2020 for further struggles. Because as indications have shown, this administration seems committed to not removing themselves from office. And with elections due in March of next year, and with all that we have seen them do in order to stay in office, then we should not be surprised if two things happen. One, postponement of elections by a hook or a crook, or the rigging of elections. We have seen some positive signs so far in respect to the electoral process in our country. And those signs give us a clear indication that free and fair elections is within our grasp. But for that to happen, we need to find ways to struggle in order for it to be accomplished. So that we have to prepare for 2020. And in prepare for 2020, it means we must take into consideration our past experiences, and we must take into consideration the lessons of other countries who have fought valiantly to achieve their victories. Struggle must be our watchword. Vigilance must also be our watchword. Struggling and being eternally vigilant to ensure that elections are free and fair must be a commitment that all of us must make, whether inside or outside of Guyana. So that as we prepare for the Christmas holidays, at the back of our heads, we must bear in mind that a big struggle is down the road. We will also have celebrations of the Republic, so-called Mashramani celebrations, soon after the Christmas celebrations. And all of this has been planned. All of this has been choreographed by the administration, so that by the time the people arrive at elections in March, heaven knows what the expectations of the administration would have been. But I would like to insist and to call upon all Guyanese, at home and abroad, that while we celebrate Christmas, and while we celebrate Mashramani, in whatever shape, form, or fashion, it is necessary that we keep in mind that the big fight is down the road. And that big fight is to have free and fair elections, so that the voice of the people could be heard and would be manifested in real change that the Guyanese people so willingly and so enthusiastically look forward to. I therefore take this opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as we sit with our family, our friends, our visitors, to have this Merry Christmas and to have a prosperous New Year, when it comes to prosperity in the new year, that can only come with a change of government, which we all look forward to, which we all must struggle for, and which we must all maintain our vigilance about. And so, my friends, I wish you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and happy New Year come 2020, when we will see a change of government, and a change of government that brings us peace, progress, and prosperity. Thank you very much.